I wanted to start off by talking about, once again, these principles of the Bible. I've been gently hitting on that, but it is a really, really big thing when you're reading the Bible. There is progressive revelation. There is intertextual connection. God is giving a lot of information in a very small space. So you do have to understand, everything you can read and get something from. That's why I love the SOAP method, because I don't care who you are and how much you know about the Bible, it can speak to you. But the more you start reading, the more you start studying, you start noticing these big themes and these big principles. I alluded to some of them already with the blood. I talked about, Adam and Eve getting the skins to cover them when they sinned, and Noah talking about the blood. This points to sacrifice that we need to sacrifice something to cover. And as you progressively read through the Bible, the sacrifices get bigger and ends up pointing to Jesus's ultimate sacrifice, that he has to die for our sins so that we can be clean to come fully to God. So that is the way progressive revelation works. That's how these stories work, and there's lots of different themes to point to that, but usually almost every single principle is pointing to Jesus. Everything in the Old Testament points to him coming, and everything in the New Testament points back to him himself. In this story with Jacob, we start the progressive revelation of how important the bride is. Now, in this time, Jacob is getting his bride. And in the New Testament, the church, Jesus' church, is the bride. But the story starts here with Jacob's pursuit of Rebekah. And it is quite the story. It's so big, and I wanted to really talk about this before we go into the reading of it, that I'm going to do 2 parts. Tomorrow I'm going to add on the actual SOAP application thing that I saw when reading this, but I wanted to give that to you, and as you're reading this, really notice the different things that are happening with Jacob in his pursuit of his bride. I hope you have fun reading. Again, Genesis 29 through 30 and Job 21, and I will see you tomorrow with the second part of day 13. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.